Recording in progress.
Hello, hello. How are we doing today?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing amazing. I really appreciate you asking. How's the new year been for you so far?
It's been great. A lot of surprises, a lot of changes. The cold weather, I'm hating it. I don't know where you at. I'm in Florida and I hate it. So
Okay, well, that's cold to you. I'm up here in Indianapolis, Indiana, and right now it's like -2 degrees outside. Um, I do know that Florida got some snow, like in northern Florida somewhere. So I'm not sure where in Florida. Are you in Orlando or Tampa area or
Orlando, Orlando.
Orlando? Okay,
So Central
awesome.
Florida. But yeah, it's nothing compared to what you guys are receiving. My daughter's in Virginia. She studies on Winchester and Shenandoah, and
Oh,
she's
okay.
getting it. She shows it's her first snowstorm and everything because we're originally from Puerto Rico. So we moved here to
Yeah, okay.
Florida, and now she moved to Virginia. She's experiencing all that. I said, no, mommy, it's really cold.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Puerto Rico, that's pretty awesome. I've always wanted to visit Puerto Rico. I actually had the opportunity to visit the Virgin Islands, so like right next to Puerto
Hmm.
Rico back in December, and it's beautiful out there. It's beautiful. The water's beautiful, and I'm sure Puerto Rico is the same way. So that's pretty cool to hear. But yeah, your New Year's been off to a good start so far. Has it been super busy or more just relaxed?
Super busy because we're restructuring, we're integrating AI to our roles,
Okay.
requested by our CFO, so I mean CEO. So, it's all within our task, plus integrating new systems is all in a big, big, big thing. I'm
Yeah,
waiting
got it.
for my data financial analyst. She will be joining us. I
Okay,
already sent
perfect.
her the link, so I'm just waiting for her
Yeah.
to.
And I won't go through anything until obviously she's on the call here. I also will be inviting one of my colleagues. She's a solutions engineer on our side. She has like a background in investment banking. So in terms of just like accounting, technicalities and whatnot, she will be a great person to, answer those questions too as well. But I do have some knowledge along that side too. I guess you mentioned integrating AI. So it's like, what's like your number one priority right now? If you don't mind me asking.
My number one priority is me being able to create the reports that my executive needs.
Okay.
I've been required on it's gonna be new for reporting side of financing. He's requesting on the P&L, he's requesting cash flow. I have never worked with cash flow the way that a financial CFO controllers does. So that's
Yeah.
why I need also that help. And I know that takes time with our
Got
formula
it.
variances and all that. So
Yeah.
me being able to provide those reports that our executive need, because we do take decisions on a weekly basis,
Weekly.
but
Okay.
we're shifting more to a monthly reporting
Got it.
type of, because it gives them more the idea, the tendency, because the week by week is too, how I say, besides that it's a lot of work, we're not able to analyze the whole month in itself. Instead of a week by week, just the full month, how does it looks, how everything compared to one week to another and all that. So me me being able to have that information available to them whenever they need it is a
Right.
must. And I know with
Yeah.
these tools, we're just click, 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 and that's it. But it's important that I didn't. I don't remember because I was doing research for through different. Uh, just 1 second, she's asking. Okay,
Yeah.
so um, we have to integrate our CRM, QuickBooks, and CRM QuickBooks, and we have another app or platform that we use for to pay our salespeople commissions. So we have to be able to integrate that for the system to provide us the correct forecasting, budgeting, data, and all that.
Right. And what's that system called, like the CRM for like the sales commissions that you currently use?
Both both CRMs are custom made for us. One is
Custom made.
Sunbase.
Okay.
Is Sunbase, that's the CRM with all the clients and the
Got it.
stages and operation wise. And Sunbright Commissions platform, that's another, it was custom made. And that's where we enter all the commissions that all related to commissions. That's our commission software. And it's integrated with our payroll system. That's every, but we don't need to integrate every. As long as I can integrate CRM, the commission system with QuickBooks, I'm doing great.
Got it. So right now there's like a direct integration from those two different custom built CRMs into QuickBooks that's feeding the data in there, correct? Is that my
I'm sorry?
understanding? So
What?
are both custom CRMs like integrated flowing data directly into QuickBooks, or are you still having to manually insert the data into QuickBooks?
I'm still doing it manually. So
Got it.
I manage the accounting and financial part, and my colleague, she manages the data financial analysis. So she
Got it.
does all the ROI, she does the projections and profitability, depending on the project, whichever we're analyzing. So for us, really important that we can minimize that manual labor and we integrate AI.
Okay. All right. Perfect. And so, sort of just to back it up really quick, I'll just go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Jacob. I work on the product side here at LiveFlow, and I do have alongside of me my colleague Maya. I briefly mentioned Maya earlier, but Maya, if you want to introduce yourself, that'll be amazing.
Sure, it's really great to meet. Yes, I'm a solutions engineer here at LiveFlow. In a previous life, I was an investment banker, so I care a lot about automated reporting because I've had to update so many models in my career. But I do that, and then I'm also a part of our forward deployment team with our design partners. So happy to
Right.
answer any questions you have. We can talk about those KPIs, if we get to that point, any questions you have about product functionality.
Yeah. And so when it comes to that, I know you mentioned that you all are looking into AI. What specifically caught your attention about LiveFlow, and like what do you specifically want to be able to solve for at the end of the day using LiveFlow potentially?
So honestly, I came to you through I saw several advertisements through Facebook
Through
and
Facebook? Okay.
but I came to you because I was searching to data rails. Data rails is was already bombarding my feed,
Got
and I
it.
just click, and then I did a search in Google, and it brought me live. I mean, brought me others, but the other was did not integrate any platforms. It was just QuickBooks, and I don't need nothing just for QuickBooks because QuickBooks has its own AI. I can tell QuickBooks, okay, just give me this report, analyze this, and it will do it. I need a system that can integrate everything. QuickBooks with a CRM, with the both CRMs, and is capable of taking all that information and providing us the reports. So I think if I'm not mistaken, when I looked into Live, you guys integrate different platforms, correct?
Great question. So to sort of give you some context here, so LiveFlow, we're an FP&A tool built directly on top of QuickBooks. So what we allow you to do is pull data from QuickBooks into your Google Sheet to be able to
Mhm.
automatically update financial models. So one of the
Okay.
biggest, I would say, areas that we help with is businesses that are multi-entity that need help with consolidation. Let's say you have 5 or 10, 15, 20 different entities, being able to consolidate into like a single P&L, balance sheet, cash flow. That's one of our, I'll say, leading products here at LiveFlow. But for the most part, we connect directly to QuickBooks Online and then allow you to pull data into Excel, Google Sheets, create financial models. Those financial models are now going to be live moving forward. So going back to what you mentioned earlier, where you all are currently providing reports weekly, but it can be cumbersome and very manual and time consuming. You'll actually be able to still provide those reports weekly, but have LiveFlow automate those for you in your Google Sheet or Excel. So to that point, LiveFlow, we don't integrate with any of the platforms other than QuickBooks Online. But to give
Mhm.
you a tidbit, we are developing our own ERP system from the ground up. That's going to be an alternative to QBO. And we plan to integrate with different systems out there for that. So curious to hear exactly, just based off the LiveFlow FP&A portion, since we only integrate with QuickBooks, like is that a deciding factor for you if you can only integrate with QuickBooks and export to Excel and have the auto update for you?
Okay, I'm willing to look into it just in case we need to start basic and then go up. Um, yeah, I'm willing to look into what you got to offer. Nothing is still set on stones.
Yeah. And so
Yeah,
you mentioned, yeah, go ahead, Maya.
I think what would be super helpful is understanding when you're doing reporting and and you're looking at commissions coming from Sunbright, how is that being married to your QuickBooks financials? Like, what's the end report you're looking to build?
When we
And
were
if you,
when we pay commissions, Catalina and and Brigitte, both they work with the Sunbright commission systems. They enter all the information to the commission system. They prepare everything to get paid. Once everything's to get paid, they issue the payment action from the Sunbright Commission, and it feeds to every. And
Mhm.
every there's when we submit the payment, the actual payment process. Once that is done, then how I get to it, because all the transaction goes into QuickBooks and I have to
Mhm.
manually, Catalina, she's the one in charge of manually matching each transaction with the payments that went out with that transaction. So that process is manual. Every little piece is manual. Then when it gets to QuickBooks, she goes ahead and posts the transaction. She matches everything. She posts, and then the regular process, I just do my reconciliations and then I run my P&Ls.
Outside of the P&Ls, are there any other reports that you're also providing on a week over week basis? I know you mentioned you're going to go to a monthly cadence, but outside the P&L, is there any other reports that would be helpful to auto update, if anything?
Yes, we'll start doing the cash flow. I have a custom made cash flow type of report that summarizes the cash, the most important point of the P&L, but Catalina manages ROI reports on a weekly basis. She's the one that makes sure, okay, this is what we have sold to the moment, this is what's active, this is what's
Right.
profitable, and all that. So that is also manually, and that's managed by Catalina.
Okay. Okay. Understood. And in terms of like the company setup, are you all a single entity or do you all have multiple QuickBooks instances as of today that you're operating out of?
Okay, I manage different entities. She's still not involved. She's only involved with the solar portion.
Okay.
But I manage solar, I manage roofing, I manage HVAC, I manage and no, the other two I don't have QuickBooks, but we're gonna start. I manage other companies outside QuickBooks that they're
Got it.
really simple. It's just one transaction only. I just transfer and they pay, transfer and they pay. So that's
Got it.
it. But
I
yes, we
see.
do have three different QuickBooks right now.
Three different. Okay. Is there a need for consolidation? Do you also have to consolidate all different QuickBooks instances, or you just simply keep them separate and only look at them separately?
We treat them separately. It's one
Got it.
owner, but we treat them separately. We don't
Got it.
consolidate. We're
Got it.
still
So,
not at that point, and we're still not at needed because HVAC is barely starting. We have not even
got
had
it.
one sale. Roofing is already ongoing, but since the three entities are managed differently and the focus is differently, we kept them all separate.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Understood. That's very helpful context. And then in terms of QuickBooks overall, what is yours and Catalina's overall sentiment with QuickBooks? Do you all like it? Is there anything that you wish QuickBooks could do better for you in terms of your modernizing your accounting stack? Definitely curious there too. Like your thoughts about QuickBooks.
From my end, I know QuickBooks since 2000.
Got it.
My first job with CPA with the QuickBooks desktop. Not even, they
Yeah.
didn't even have the capacity to send emails from the QuickBooks
Hmm.
desktop. It was just go ahead and post a transaction, reconciliation, post transaction. That was it. So I always loved it. I tried Peachtree. I tried in the time Peachtree, Lotus, and other,
Yeah.
but no, I stay with QuickBooks. I don't know Catalina's experience with the system, but go ahead, Cata.
No, I think this is the first system I've been working on with the US. But I do think it's really complete. So I think I keep going, I keep working with QuickBooks.
Okay.
Mhm.
So the overall sentiment with QuickBooks is pretty positive. Um, it sounds like on your side.
Mhm.
And
The
yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, the only issues when there's system issues like duplication of transactions that it happened to us, duplicity
We've
of
heard about that a lot.
transactions when the system is just, but that's technicality. That's one
Right.
fix and that's it. But the best thing will be if it can post the transaction by itself, but there's too much variances for the system just to give it that rule. Because a same transaction with the same vendor can be for two different purposes. So automating using the automated rule feature is not it doesn't work for us.
It doesn't
How
work
do
for
you
you.
guys use, is it usually by the description on the line item that tells you how to book it?
No, when since I since I've been already almost a year with the company, I know the behavior of each person
Hmm.
hitting a transaction hitting our accounts. So I know what is related to because I don't go by the description, I go with the purpose of the purchase. And that's provided from my peers or my CEO.
I see, and that's given to you just like outside of QuickBooks or like am I
That conversation happens organically. Since I know what's going around, that's okay. They went to Walmart, but the purchase was not for food, was for an item for marketing, for an event, but that's where I house it. So it depends on the purpose of the purchase.
And then do you also use a tag or do you also apply like a class or location for that specific transaction too as well? So to be able to use later on for reporting purposes, if you want to be able to like isolate exactly, how much are we spending on this vendor or on this salesperson or anything else?
No, we're not. We have spoken about the tag, I think recently last week. We mentioned it for a process that we're trying to implement. But no, we don't use tags. We don't use nothing special because um it's more or less really standard. Because for
Mm.
example, for solar, we're a marketing and sales company. We don't sell product. So it's just, and we depending on the sale, the deal that close, we have to pay for an air conditioner that we install. We do that, but other than that, it's pretty standard. The expenses, how everything flows.
Right. Okay. And so I know you mentioned that you're looking for a system that's going to be able to take both your custom CRMs and then also QuickBooks and like have it all into one. Out of curiosity, like would you be open to sharing a report or maybe a dashboard that you're currently maintaining today in terms of just so Maya and I can get our eyes on it and see exactly if LiveFlow can help in any capacity today?
Let me see. Mhm.
And while you're bringing that up here, I know data rails popped up and took you somewhere to LiveFlow. Have you looked at data rails yet, or is that still like on your list?
No, they were the first one because they do integrate up to three systems and they do what we already were walked through. It provides with what we need. It's still a high
Right.
ticket. but it's still we can still make it because it's more or less what we pay for softwares around here. But let me see. Executive 2025, 2026. Okay.
And so they will be able to integrate with your two custom CRMs, correct?
Yes.
Okay. If you don't mind me asking, do you know what they overall quoted you? Did they get to that part yet?
Oh, they mentioned 17,000 for the basic and the other one's over 30,000
Okay.
yearly.
And yeah, yearly. And did they mention the migration process or like the implementation process and how long that would take on their side?
No, we didn't get into it. They did the walkthrough. They did t tell us about the pricing, but we haven't got into any details because I want to still research.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. Yeah,
And
understood that.
and I'm really open to options because I might think that Data Rails is the best because it has everything, but it might be that your system is best aligned of what we need. One thing is
Hmm.
what we want, one thing, another thing is what we need and what will work.
Right. Absolutely. And I think Jacob and I are pretty aligned in that way too. That our company is always just looking for good partnerships.
Okay,
People that,
so
yeah,
I'm sorry, I can
that's
share
great.
just the different reports we go on going over fast. Just one
Hmm.
second. So this is a model of what we do. Let me know when, okay. So this is more the summary I present
Hmm.
first. That is, this is the bank balance, the P&L information, and this is from the information system. Here I provide a comparison the week over week with a simple analysis.
So,
This comes from Ops, the Sunbase CRM. What's pending payment? This one comes from different system. This is QuickBooks, this P&L, this is from the Sunbright operation system, and this
Hmm.
is from the commission system. She builds all her information, the formulas and everything. She did create that from scratch.
oh,
And this
sorry.
is
Could I ask do you mind going back there? So, are you saying the top line, the rows 3 through 5, are coming from QuickBooks? Am I understanding that correctly?
no, Kata, she knows better.
Yes, it
Okay.
um yes, those per lines, total expenses comes directly from QuickBooks.
Got it. And are they pieces of the P&L? So it'll be like one chart of account is related to just Sunbright, another's Oklahoma. Or are they
Um,
different? Yeah.
Are different line
okay, no,
items.
but we don't do that anymore. We actually now we just have one line for total expenses.
Mm,
And it does came from a charge of accounting in QuickBooks. It's like the total expenses,
great.
the total transactions, and then I just organize them by month.
So to your
Got
question,
it.
Maya, this is a line item. We identified the
Okay.
different areas of the marketing outbound. One is dedicated for Sunrise. The other two that she mentioned that we no longer capture information is Oklahoma and
Hmm.
Equity. We no longer have this program running, but we used to. That's
Mm,
why the line items here, see, there's
I
information
see.
there, but we stopped it. There was a campaign. There was two campaigns that we rolled out, but
Hmm.
this is our main one for this type of exercise, and it's coming, like she said, from the P&L and the expenses, because I have a line item identified as OBM, so she already knows where to capture that, get that information.
Got it.
Mhm. So in the AR that comes from the P&L information, so that is those are the reports that we have right now, but starting in February, we have to provide the P&L, the balance sheet that is already provided by
Mhm.
QuickBooks, and the cash flow that I have never prepared before.
I see.
And
Okay.
are you manually plugging in the numbers from the CRM, like based off the spreadsheet you just shared with me? Like, are those numbers being manually plugged in, or is there another tab where you feed the data in and then you use a formula to put it into the ROI summary and whatnot?
In my
Yes,
case, it's manually. Catalina's is with formulas. Go ahead, Cata.
we have an automation that using the API in the CRM, we bring data to an spreadsheet, like, oh, I don't know, a whole report. That's
Got it. Yeah.
automatically.
Oh, that's great. So
And then,
that
yeah,
sounds like
both,
it's at least partially automated.
yeah, both our CRM and the software we use for commissions both have APIs. So we pull information from that to a spreadsheet, and then I organize by formulas, like the information per month, per blah blah.
And how often is that information getting fed into your Google Sheet, like via the API? Is it like set up automatically to do it like every 24 hours or once a week, or do you have to manually click a button to get that automatically in there?
No, it's a code using AppScript, and the
Okay.
information is like updated every day.
Okay. Okay. Bill, yeah, greatly appreciate you sharing that with us. Maya, do you have any questions on your side?
No, but maybe I can kind of paint the picture of what to expect from our FP&A platform. So while Jacob's just pulling up his screen here, it's great that you guys have the API connection for um, the homegrown CRM data, just given that we don't integrate with those directly. But what we can do is marry what you're doing with that work in Google Sheets, but bring in QBO in an automated way so that those two can be flowing together. And so I think that would be the best way that we can support you with core product. But from our accounting workflow perspective, that would be a different conversation. Um,
Yeah.
so hopefully that
Yeah.
helps a little.
Yeah, got it. And then also really quick, do you all have like a specific goal in mind to like get something up and running? I know you've already evaluated LiveFlow, but what is you all sort of deadline to make a decision on the platform and get at least some AI into your existing workflows?
So my expectation is to have something to present to my boss by the end of this week.
Okay.
So we can move as soon as we can now in February with something.
Okay, with something. Okay, okay, understood. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. We'll jump directly over into the platform. Like I mentioned earlier, we're going to walk through the FP&A platform. But what I would definitely love to do is I'll also love to set up another maybe conversation within the next day or two. If you are open to walk through our accounting platform that we're currently building, and like an alternative to QBO that would also have some AI into it. But just want to give you a heads up about that, and I'll just actually go ahead and share my screen here. And then do you see my screen on my side?
Is
Mm,
loading.
mm.
There we go.
Okay,
Okay.
perfect. Perfect. So to give you like a high level overview about LiveFlow, what we do, like Maya mentioned, we bridge the gap between QuickBooks Online and your spreadsheet, so Excel or Google Sheets. So you're still going to be able to pull all the canned reports directly from QBO. This could be a P&L. This could be a transaction detail. It could be a balance sheet, a cash flow. The core thing about this is that once we pull it one time, it's now going to be a live report in your Google Sheet moving forward. So let's say you, Catalina, you updated something in QuickBooks. Without you having to download and export or copy and paste manually, you can just easily refresh LiveFlow within Google Sheets, and it will automatically bring over your latest QuickBooks data that we're going to mesh with your other operational data coming from your CRM. So what a lot of individuals will do is they'll create like a high level dashboard, much like you all showed me, where I want to compare this week versus this week. And they now actually create that as a live financial model which you can use that financial model across different entities or different locations, classes, whatever other dimensions that you're using inside QuickBooks Online. So the platform is going to be built for a lot of flexibility, a lot of scalability, and a lot of customization on top of that. Any questions here regarding the concept behind LiveFlow and how that works? Sync into QuickBooks to your Google Sheet, refreshing the data, creating live financial models.
I'm good.
No questions? Okay. So where LiveFlow will be sitting will be inside your Google Sheet as an extension. So much like you, Catalina, when you go to App Scripts, once we install LiveFlow, we'll now be able to create a report or pull a report depending on exactly which company that we want to do that for. So in this case, from the dropdown, I'm going to see all my 3 entities that I have connected to the system. You mentioned that you have 3 QuickBooks instances, correct? At this time,
Yes.
is there an additional 2 coming, or
The
am I
other two, I'm still verifying with my CEO to see if he's gonna open the QuickBooks account because there's no much
got it?
movement on that end, so we're still defining how it's gonna look.
Okay, understood. So you can just choose whatever entity that you want to quickly just grab data for, and then we can now choose whatever report that we want to pull directly from QuickBooks to as well. So what we can do is, I know you're looking at, you're comparing this week versus last week. So what we can easily do is we can choose a P&L report, and then we can run a date range such as the trailing 2 weeks, where at any given point, this report will always be looking at the last 2 weeks of where we're currently at sitting in time here today. So I can adjust this however I want to. I can also choose a dynamic date range. So if you want to look at, let's say, this year to date or this year to last month, as time goes on, without you having to do anything, we will simply just automatically refresh your data coming from QuickBooks Online. In this case, I can do the trailing 2 weeks. I can also get down into filters. So do you all use any dimensions inside QuickBooks, such as classes or locations? Or you mentioned that you sort of stay away from that as of right now?
As of right now, for what we want to start to use any of the system, it will be Sunbright, and we use the customers, no location, no class.
Customer, but no location, no class. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
At any given point, if you want to, you can isolate a specific customer. Or if you really want to, you can also display the columns by customer too as well. Pretty much up to your reporting parameters. Ideally, though, once we get this set up, we can just now go ahead and generate this report. And then now you'll see that we pulled over this P&L looking at the last 2 weeks of data, or the trailing 2 weeks of data. In this case, I have this broken down by month, but I'm going to
So if we
quickly switch
change it
this to week. To week. And then now you'll see that we're looking at the trailing 2 weeks of that data being pulled directly from QuickBooks. So since this is a live report connected to QuickBooks, you'll see that when we flip over to next week, you're going to see column C automatically disappear. You'll see column D get shifted over to column C, and then we're now going to add the week that we're currently sitting in. So that's exactly how it's going to work. So this is just basic functionality in terms of how to pull a report. You can pull a report looking at whatever entity at any given point into the same Google workbook, or you can pull different reports depending on exactly which data that you want to bring into the Google Sheet itself.
Okay.
I'll pause here for just a second to see if you all have any questions around.
Not me. Tata?
Okay.
I'm good, thanks.
So another great thing about now having this in the Google Sheet is I think when you shared your screen, you added like a custom column where you're doing a variance. If you want to inside this report too as well, you can easily add your own custom formula. Let's say between column C and D, I want to add a column. And let's say I want to do percent of variance. What you can easily do is just a quick formula, and you can obviously do this in whatever spot that you choose to. And the great thing about LiveFlow is that even when this data gets updated from QuickBooks, so let's imagine here that we refresh the report, new data is coming in. In this case, I'll just go ahead and remove my data. You'll see, though, that I can easily just now refresh my report, and then you'll see your latest data automatically populate directly in, but anything that we added on top of the report is going to stay there upon refresh. So what we typically see with a lot of other platforms out there is when you try to insert your own custom formula column or row, when you refresh the report, it automatically just breaks it and removes all of your customizations there.
Okay, so it overrides
Yeah, so
the other
most
system.
platforms will override it. Yeah, yeah. Other systems will override. LiveFlow, we're going to keep it there intact for you. So you can easily just set it up one time, not have to worry about redoing it as new data flows in.
Okay.
Oh, Jacob, I think what would be really cool is could we pull another P&L and do maybe like trailing 6 weeks or maybe just a larger date range?
Yep.
It could be trailing months, all
We
this.
can do
Yeah, that's great
yeah, we
too.
can do trailing. We can do trailing 12 weeks
Amazing.
and bi week.
And if there's any specific view you guys are interested in seeing, we can go over that as well. I
Yeah.
think it would be great to maybe just add a row between 15 and 16 here that says new customer signed. And then if we just populate, maybe we say, yeah, 50 new customers, which is probably a lot. Maybe we could do 2 or 3 or something like this.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
So we can
that's
just
fine.
populate some over.
Yeah, great. The point I'm trying to demonstrate here is when you need to fill in the Sunbright data, whether it's those commission structures or those news contracts signed that you're comparing either to, I saw like the total expense line. So I'm assuming that's like a customer acquisition cost analysis. You can do that with LiveFlow. We'll bring in all of your QuickBooks data, and then it can be married with the Sunbright data in Google Sheets.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So like what most individuals will do is they will have, and probably what you're doing today here, Catalina, is you'll have another tab that's pulling in your CRM data automatically. And as long as the formula is tied directly inside this report here, now we're just going to be able to automate the QBO data. Your other data from the CRM is also being automated too as well. So whenever you do open up the report next time, since that's refreshing every 24 hours, you can have LiveFlow also refreshing every 24 hours or once a day. Or you can do it whenever you open up the spreadsheet, or you can also do it every single hour, pretty much up to you. But at any given point, you can always trigger a manual refresh. Let's say you make an adjustment in QuickBooks, you want to see it reflect immediately. Just go ahead and refresh that button, and then you'll be able to just look at it right there in real time. So I'll pause it for a second. Which questions? Does this resonate at all with you all so far, or am I anything else I'm missing here that you would possibly want to do with the P&L itself?
We see a possibility with this product. Question. You mentioned this is live. I can go ahead and refresh. It will refresh. It will not override whatever I put in between lines or columns. Can I just, if I want to keep this report and share it, can I do that? And whatever I share
Absolutely.
does not update with whatever I update here?
I don't think
Yes.
so.
Yeah. Go ahead, Maya.
So there depends on the approach you want to take. We can support it. So are you interested in not sharing live data with someone, or are you interested in maybe making the Google Sheet, setting it up correctly, and then sharing it with them so they can open whenever and see the latest and greatest numbers?
Yeah, we prefer to have it there and it can be refreshed with the data they need whenever they need it. But sometimes, for example, I have an executive that she likes to know a bit more. So she goes
Mm-hmm.
ahead and enter comments in which I answer. But if the data is refreshed, then I lose whatever because the values would change. And she wants to know exactly what that value means. So
Mm-hmm.
I need two things. I would like to have a live report in which they can refresh and they can have the informations over there. But if there's a question, it can be steady there and the person can just I can copy and paste that one and leave it as a copy and whatever comments they need to do they can do there and nothing will be refreshed. Just keep the one that we want live to stay live and I can issue other copies that won't refresh, that just stay
Yeah.
there as like the snapshot of whatever I got to the moment. I don't know if